Okay guys, first house of the day. I'm going to get started and you'll get a little better idea of how I do things on the video. But just as you're aware, so you know this will be the first house of the day. So my comments on the first house will be a little different from the last house because we have things to compare it to. Okay, this is 2058 Ridgeline, the neighborhood that I probably like the best of what we're going to see today. I'm going to see the one around the corner next. I'll tell you why I like this neighborhood for schools and stuff like that a little bit more by email. But this is a very good neighborhood. You know, maybe more desirable than Oceanside for a few reasons, with the exception of in Oceanside you get closer to the freeway. So I'm just going to give you a little panoramic view of the other neighbors. This is probably what we maybe consider like upper middle class neighborhood. So more white collar workers here than professionals than what you'll get in Oceanside, which are going to be more like blue collar and middle to lower middle class. Where I'd say maybe that the mix here would be 75% white collar, and in Oceanside the neighborhoods where we're looking would be more like, I don't know, maybe 60-70% blue collar, maybe a little more than that, but we'll kind of figure that out. So this is the panoramic view, and the house looks great from the outside. 3-car garage, good curb appeal. I'll tell you what I like and don't like as we're going through the house. I'll tell you right now, there's a I can't tell if it's non-permitted, but there's a addition in the garage where they just kind of split it up to make rooms that you could kind of live in and use as a livable space. So that's kind of, there's some in here, there's going to be some things that are good, there's going to be some that are bad, and there's going to be some things that are, it depends on the tenant. So that one is something depends on the tenant, how they'd want it or not want it. But either way, it would be easy to change that back out just by knocking down the wall, and I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. Okay, so you walk in to the front. Stairs are right here to the left. Hard surfaces here. A very tall Genkan, as you can see. Diana will probably have something to say about these fixtures. I'm not sure as far as a rental perspective, but we'll hit her with a few questions after that. So you got a small living space here with carpeting and some high windows where you're going to get a lot of direct sunlight. Now the windows have not been upgraded. Not a big deal. It's always a plus if they have been updated, but when they're not updated, that's the default setting, so you don't have to really worry about that. You can see there's a little kind of a little sunroom over there that has hard surfaces. So I'm just going to walk in that direction. Okay, so you get a lot of light here. So this little like separate room, kind of like a den area. You can see how they have the desk and office kind of thing set up there. Okay, pluses and minuses again to the backyard. There's a lot of space back there that's not usable. That's on a hill with the wall, but you have plenty of hangout space here. It's actually quite awesome. They have it set up. They've got the grill over there. And they've got the space out here, the concrete that you can use. So very low maintenance backyard. I mean, kids aren't going to be here playing football, but a lot of people play in parks and stuff like that anyway here. So overall, some decent usable space out there. Okay, I'm going to walk through the kitchen. Nice big kitchen, and the layout of the kitchen is awesome. But these are some of those crappy tiles that I was telling you about. So we have a couple different ways that we can deal with this tile. And Diana would explain that to you in better detail than I could. But the cheap option is to spray some sort of kind of glazing or epoxy over that to make that more updated. Obviously the bull market way to do it would be to put granite countertops in, and we could weigh the pluses and minuses of that for you guys. Putting granite in would certainly up your rent. It would cost more, but as we talked about, you could capitalize those costs. You can see the kitchen cabinets, everything looks pretty good. Having white in the kitchen is usually the preferred way to go. A lot of times when we come in, we have to refinish cabinets or repaint. These don't look in bad shape, and again, that would be something that Diana would look at and let us know. And this is the kind of just little things, just so you know. You see how this door is open. I'll kick it shut and it kind of opens. That's the kind of stuff when we make it ready, the handyman will come in here and adjust those hinges. Okay. So coming over here, you have another living space along with the fireplace right there. And and hard surface here, tile. So not a lot of carpet in here. I got high hopes for this place. Kind of my top one right now. I think, again, I always tell you, there's a reason why stuff isn't selling. This is slightly overpriced, and people might be nervous about that non-permitted garage, which shouldn't be like a major deal for us, okay? Okay, another thing I like, downstairs bedroom. First of all, has hard surfaces in it. By and large, when you have a downstairs bedroom and a downstairs full bathroom, you're always gonna get some more rent than you will when there's, all the bedrooms are upstairs and only a half bath downstairs, which I'd say it's probably, that's 70% of the places we look at. So, or maybe not, it might be closer to 50-50, but you get what I'm saying. Because this is good from the perspective of if you have for example, grandparents, older people that don't want to have to climb the stairs, can just come in here, stay for a few days. You've got this downstairs bedroom. Again, you don't have carpet to deal with. Fantastic, okay? You come through here, here's your full bath. On the side here, cabinet, nothing fancy, Home Depot type stuff, but it is kind of nice and updated. And I always just take a look inside the tub just to see what we're looking at here. There's no tub. It's a shower. It's great. It's easy to step over. So again, easy for older folks if they're coming in and staying grandparents. All right, indoor laundry room, always nice. I told you in the houses that are under 2,000 square feet or even like 2,200 square feet, you might find the laundry in the garage. Here you're finding it inside the house. Obviously a little more preferable for people who are doing that. Washer and dryer, since it's here right now, is probably negotiable, whether that stays or not. Okay, let me just show you this garage. So you can see this is the garage, 3-car garage. There's epoxy down on the floor, which is real nice and is an upgrade. But you can see they've made this a living space. It's even painted out here. This place is fantastic. The water heater, which is always one of the top 3 problems you're gonna have because these guys are built to fail. They have a life expectancy of 10 to 15 years, and there will be a point when that bottom starts leaking and then you have to replace it. And the hope is always that it doesn't leak and run into the house, but when they're in the garage, it's usually minimal damage. That's about give or take $1,000 job when that when that thing leaks, not if but when. Okay, this wall over here where the pool sticks are against, that is the wall that I'm sure is probably not permitted. Not a huge deal, depending on what we're looking to do with this place. We need to knock it down if you want to have the regular garage. And that would be some work in here. We'd have to figure out what that would cost if you indeed want to make this a garage again as opposed to a living space. But this is the reason the place isn't selling, and it's not. I don't think it's a game ender. It's actually a negotiating tool. Okay. This heater looks like it's original equipment. Came with the house when it was first built. That's the furnace, and it looks old as could be. So that is something that you can live with for a while. But it's another thing we could upgrade right away when you take over the house. I want to say an entire HVAC system upgrade, probably in the neighborhood of $8,000, but then you wouldn't have to do that again for another 20 years. And you can capitalize that expense too. So just let me run around, and I'm going to look at the what do you call that thing? The compressor for the AC, which I'm sure there's AC in here. I'm just taking a quick walk around here because that thing probably is looking as old as that furnace that we just saw over there. So I'm walking around the house looking for the compressor and really hoping we have a compressor, because if we don't, we are also going to include that in what we're going to need to do to upgrade the price or upgrade the place. Okay, I don't see the compressor. So I could be wrong. I thought this place had AC. There's a chance it does not. Well, I will look into that. So there's another, call it $7,000 to $8,000. If we're going to put a compressor in here for AC, I definitely recommend to update that that furnace for sure when you first take over the property, because it's much cheaper to do it all together when you do the, sorry, I'm just locking stuff up here. When you do the heating system or the air conditioning system, it's best to do everything all together, okay? I'm just going to give you a whirl around the, I didn't show you, but they have these double French doors, which is a nice touch. I don't know about the blue, but I don't think it's a major deal. And you got these windows here, which are, excellent for sunlight. So you come up the stairs, you got this carpet. Again, the carpet looks fine for me for an initial rental. We'd have to talk to Diana whether this is passable or not. I think most of it looks pretty passable if we would give this a shampooing. Okay? You come in up the stairs, to your left is a master with double doors. They've upgraded the flooring here to, this is vinyl planking, which is bulletproof. It'll last the entire time you own this house. This stuff just lasts forever. Okay, so that's an upgrade. Looks nice, hard surface. And as some of the places that you'll see later, where I told you they have, what's it called, carpeting in the bathroom, which is crazy. This is all hard surfaces here. So updated. Here's the shower stall. Here's the bathtub. This is original stuff, these tiles, but they look a lot better than the ones that are down in the kitchen, so I think we can live with that. And again, these vanities painted white, I don't think you're going to need to do much with those. A lot of time, that's something we have to do is resurface the cabinets, and it doesn't look that way in this case. I know this is a long video, but I just want you to get to know what I'm doing around here. So carpet in the hallway, don't love it, but that's the way it is, Shogunai. Okay, we have another big bedroom here. All right. You have the bathroom off the hall, so this is your third full bath. Again, updated flooring, somewhat updated. You don't have the tile here. You got somewhat updated countertops, which is good. The cabinets all look good. May or may not want hardware on there to just spice it up a little bit, but I'm going to talk to you about that. This has been updated with some really cheap, this is like a, what do you call that, like system basa, and for a Wakai-san, it might be, it's a little bit closer to that because it's just like you just, pack it in there. Not quite as good as the Japanese, but you can tell this has been updated. It used to be old tile, and now that's kind of a plastic one piece, more Japanese style than not. Okay, and then finally you have two more bedrooms over here. I don't like this because the carpet doesn't match, but it's passable for the rental until we have to update. And this is a huge bedroom here for another bedroom. And then finally, we got the last bedroom over here. I like this one, guys. I think it works. I think the biggest things are what expenses are we going to have here, which is an update to the HVAC system. I need to find out about that. About the air conditioning and that garage, what the deal is with the permitting, and talk to Diana about what she thinks are the pluses and minuses of restoring it to its original state versus keeping it like it is, how that would work as a rental. But those are numbers I'm going to have to look at. But overall, I got high hopes for this one. I like this one better than the others I'm going to see, I think, for what we're doing. Keep in mind, the next place we're going to see is going to be much nicer than this, a little bit smaller, much nicer, but 30 grand more expensive at list. Late.